So anyway, I run into this problem, and I've had it before, tried to find a solution. It wasn't an easy solution. You all recognize this. This is the top half of the headlight cowl. Top half and bottom half, and speedometer and the warning lights and all that junk is in there. Now, this is held in place by a number of screws. At the back of the cowl, unfortunately anyway, it's held on by two of these posts, plastic posts. Into that post, you're supposed to, there's a screw that goes in like so, you see, and it screws through from the bottom cowl. This is upside down, but from the bottom cowl. But anyway, the point is that this screw goes into that plastic post. No problem, right? No problem when it's brand new. But somebody was a little bit ham-fisted, took it off, and you can see, I've got a couple of pictures here that you can see that this plastic post is split. And it's really a nuisance because it'll shake, it'll rattle, the screw will come out, and I like things to be perfect. The most common thing that people do is they put a bunch of silicone sealant or super glue or something like that on there and try to seal it up. But then the hole usually gets filled, the screw won't get in, and it doesn't work. So a little earlier, I was thinking, you know, all I need to do is make that strong. I thought about putting a little clamp around it, a little gas line tubing clamp and so on. And while I was thinking about that, I said, gas line tubing. Why don't I get a short piece of gas line tubing? So I got all kinds of it here, you know, for different projects. So I went there and I got a piece of gas line tubing, and this is bigger than normal. I think this is at least 1/4 inch. It'll just squeeze over that. If you make it a bit soft by warming it up, it'll go more easily. So watch. The best way to do that. You can get a heat gun out. If I had hot water here, what I do, I can have a kettle. But if I had hot water, you could dip it in hot water. But if you just put it in your mouth for a few minutes and get a little bit moist, which will help, and so on. Now you can take that piece of tubing. I'm not sure you can get in here, Diane, and watch what I'm doing. But you know what I'm doing now. I'm just going to take that piece of tubing and force it over that end, like so. See, look at that. It goes. Look at that. You see that? And then take a screwdriver, whatever you have, and move it down. Push it down onto that post as far as you can. Yeah, it looked pretty good. So there you go. Look at that. Now, this is not perfect. There's still a little crack in there, but two things. And you see, I did this on the other side already. This side wasn't cracked over here. I did it anyway. A couple of things about this. First of all, it's rubber tubing, so it will slowly try to get back to its original shape. It'll put pressure on there. Secondly, as long as you don't get ham-fisted, it'll certainly grab that screw. You can put that screw in there now, it'll screw down, it'll hold everything together so it doesn't rattle and shake. And speaking of rattle and shake, that little bit of rubber, when you trim it off, don't be too concerned about taking it off too perfectly flat. Leave a little bit. So when the parts come together, as you screw it, it'll push, and there'll be a little bit of rubber tubing in there. Again, which will help to keep it in place and reduce any rattling and shaking. So there we go. There's a almost 25 years old. Look at that cowling, perfect, almost new. Speedometer is in perfect shape, and all the lights work. Everything else is almost ready to go back onto the machine in good shape, and the screws will work really well. You will run into these plastic posts eventually, and maybe keep that in the back of your mind. There's a simple cure for a broken one. That's it, guys. Talk to you soon. ALEC Peirce at the wrench. See ya.